Comes as the online network where many high schoolers would have the opportunity to take college courses is under fire.
So the governor describes it as revolutionary. So why is the high-speed internet system in Idaho high schools now in jeopardy? Tonight, I'm on your side, looking into what's best for schools, students, and taxpayers.
La clase es difícil and es más trabajo.
Up close, it looks like any web feed. Widen out, and you can see the bigger picture. This Spanish 4 class is actually 2 classrooms in one. Instructor Anna Bradshaw is at Mountain View High School, but some of her students are across town at Meridian High.
How difficult or easy is it to teach this way?
At first, 5-6 years ago, it was very, very difficult. And now, not a problem at all. I've gotten used to it, and I actually enjoy it.
This is all possible thanks to the Idaho Education Network, or IEN, a statewide broadband and video conferencing system implemented in Idaho high schools in 2009. With heightened sound and multiple screens, Senora Bradshaw never misses a beat.
Margarita, no es difícil. ¿No lo entiendes?
West Ada uses the IEN to broadcast upper-level classes throughout the district.
And the IEN system allows more kids to have access to more classes. That's what's great about it.
What's not so great is that in some school districts, the system could go black because funding for the network is uncertain. This past November, a judge ruled the state's IEN contract void.
I think there's a lot of people around this state that are silently very happy about the fact that we took a stand and did what was right from a procurement standpoint.
Syringa Networks sued the state over being cut out of the original deal and won. CEO Greg Lowe says there's a bigger issue with the IEN than just a bad contract. He's worried the state's not being wise with taxpayers' money.
Today, students are asked to bring their own supplies into a classroom. Teachers' compensation is always at odds with taxpayer rolls. And so any money spent on a technology network, which is a vital tool, has to be efficient. Otherwise, it costs the other, stakeholders.
Right now, the IEN is costing you twice. Here's how. On every cell phone bill, you pay a tax. This money goes to the feds, who in turn have given it back to Idaho to help fund broadband in schools. But because of the contract lawsuit, the feds pulled the E-rate reimbursement for Idaho 2 years ago. So now, to keep the IEN running, legislators have had to pony up millions of your tax dollars, all while you still pay this tax on your phone bill.
The value of the IEN is no longer in question.
During an in-depth interview, Governor Otter, flanked by 2 of his top education advisors, told me the IEN could very well be his legacy by finally giving all students the same educational opportunities.
Is there anything that the 3 of you have seen that you would definitely like to see done differently when it comes to the IEN?
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see the contracts be correct and be good. We make mistakes on it. I suppose that's still in court. And, we get different opinions on that all the time. But if I could have wished for anything, it would have been for the IEN to be up and running and everything golden on it. That just didn't happen to be the case. So we're going to have the patience in order to correct it. But at the same time, continue the service of the IEN.
To keep it running, the governor is asking for almost $9 million additional dollars. But some lawmakers question if that money's well spent. According to the Idaho Education Network's annual report, only 1,500 students took classes through the system last spring.
Yes, right now maybe there isn't enough shared teaching. But as we move forward in this state, we're going to have all kinds of shared teaching. We'll look back 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and say, this is one of the most revolutionary things Idaho could have ever done in education. This is worth its weight in gold.
Each IEN classroom is outfitted with about $20,000 in high-tech tools. Most of that is paid for with grants, not taxpayer money. But a recent audit discovered only 47% of schools even use the equipment. Lowe says the state is not listening to the needs of all the districts, who are the IEN's customers.
Well, I think the state hasn't spent sufficient time in polling the users of the IEN to figure out how to make it a better service. You can't have a better service unless you know what your customers ultimately think.
Does it help you guys to do that, to speak Spanish if we're doing more in Spanish? I think so.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
These Meridian students certainly appreciate what the network gives them, and while there's a need to better prepare Idaho students to go on after high school, questions remain about how best to do that and how to pay for it. The IEN can save parents money by allowing high schoolers to take college courses. In fact, the state claims that over the last 6 years, students have earned 18,000 college credits.
It's neat to see how it really works
Yes,
in
get in
real
the
life.
classroom.
That's the first time I've actually had a chance to see that. So if there's no broadband contract,
Right.
then what's next?
That's a good question. Still up in the air. The state is planning to rebid the contract this summer, and Syringa Networks is planning to put in a proposal.